Really pleased to have with us in this segment, I think, two individuals and organizations and businesses that are kind of emblematic of kind of that private sector partnership with our not-for-profit sector. And Juliet Feibel is the Executive Director of ArtsWorcester. Juliet, welcome.
Thank you.
And Julian Davis Wade, who is the President and CEO of Davis Publishing, fourth generation in the printers building, which has been in the family business for how many years?
So that building was it was started in August of 1922, and it was finished in February of 1923. So that was well before OSHA laws. So a lot of concrete and rebar, but we've been in there since then. So it started with two other companies, two other presses, and a bookbindery. But as of now, we're the only ones left. So there's no more press in there anymore. But Davis Publishing is still there.
And we want to talk about Davis Publishing and what you've done to the building. But let me just start with Juliet. You know, you've led a major renaissance of ArtsWorcester, increased visibility. And when we think about the Worcester Renaissance, a lot of that has been driven by our arts and cultural scene, the restaurant scene, kind of the momentum, bringing people in, having great, authentic experiences. You relocated recently. Why don't you talk to us about ArtsWorcester and the move and what's happening?
So ArtsWorcester, much to many people's surprise, has been operating for 40 years. And 20 of those we spent in the Aurora building in Maine South. And that was a good and loyal home to us. And we were allowed to flourish and we were able to thrive there and see what really worked in a new era of creative industries and young people interested in the arts and audiences in the city that expected high quality art and went seeking it. So we were moving along and growing and increasing our visibility very happily. And then one day, outside of City Hall, Julian turns to me and says, I think I'm supposed to take you to lunch at the Worcester Club. And I think I'm supposed to do this with a presentation, but would you be interested in moving to the ground floor of the printers building? And this was not even a question I had to ask my board of directors about. This was a yes.
But you had some challenges with the building where you were at in terms of handicap accessibility, parking. So while you were stabilizing anchor at the corner of Main, Chandler, and Madison, and helped kind of grow a little arts district, which is happening, you had an opportunity.
So yeah, the Aurora was a good home to us. We were never going to make it ADA compliant. I looked backwards and forwards for ways to make that happen. I want to just thank again the Freemasons who did allow us to park there for many years. But that space was never built to be a gallery. It was always retrofitted, it was always make do. We were always trying to figure out how we could make it work better to do something that it was never going to be. It was always going to be a square hole and a round peg. So in this case, we had the opportunity by moving to the building and accepting the extraordinary gift that the Davis and Wade family made to ArtsWorcester and bringing to that what we needed to bring to it. We were able to build a facility that was always meant to show art, and that is a game changer.
Yeah, and it's absolutely beautiful when you see it, and it ties in, you know, Julian, what you've done and you know, having torch being passed. We had Knight Dick Insurance on, which is a fourth generation business, 102 years. You can relate to that. But you've taken a vision that your dad talked about and implemented it. The printers building on Portland Street, completely redone, looks absolutely beautiful, historic. But you talked about printing presses and how that building was designed for that. Your business has totally changed. You've transformed and adapted that space to create, we can call it an incubator, a business generated arts and cultural hub. What do you call it?
A little bit of everything, you know, and I think that's the best part about it. You know, there are so many. The history of Worcester is so deep. The more that you go, the more that you find, and you can get lost in it forever because it's so fascinating. And I think that that's something that maybe some people, it's easy to gloss over how much Worcester has contributed and how much creativity and culture has really come out of this city. I really see this building as emblematic of representing all of these different pieces. So that, you know, the philosophy that built the building and built the business is that of, you know, creativity. You know, Davis Press and Davis Publications started really in 1901 because of a drawing standard that Massachusetts released. The first art education standard in the country came from Massachusetts, which I'm very proud about. But school arts reacted to that, and that is really the philosophy that has fueled the family, it's fueled the business, and now it's really fueling the building as well. But the really excellent part about it is that it's not just us anymore.
Right.
It's not just this publishing company that is in this slightly blighted building. It's now us with community members who all share the same philosophy, but they put it out into the world in their own way. And that's a wonderful thing, because it creates so many opportunities for people to meet and see what other members of the community are doing, and that's a wonderful thing.
But we want to talk about some of the specifics of your tenants. I mean, this ArtsWorcester, and I want to come back to talk a little bit about that. But you've got incubator space for small business startups,
Yep.
Technocopia. You've got maker spaces.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So maybe you could just take a second and just talk about kind of the
Sure.
mix in the building.
Oh, absolutely. So there's a mix from, as you said, there's maker spaces. Clean Tech Incubator is on
Right.
the 4th floor. Technocopia is on the 6th floor, which is really a space that's dedicated to creativity and imagination, just like Davis Publications, being the K through 12 art education publisher that we are. There's also an NPR-affiliated radio station, WICN, Jazz. I think of it as Jazz Plus, but they're on the 1st floor as well. 2nd floor, Edward Street Child Services. There's a new photography studio there, B Studios. We're on the 3rd floor. The 5th floor, there is the downtown Worcester bid district executive directors moving in there. That's a floor that's coming along. The 7th floor, there's Crocodile River Music. WPI has their downtown, their Worcester Project space, the Worcester Project Center there. And John Stimson, H9 Films, he's making movies for Lifetime and others on the 7th floor of our building.
So you use the term creativity. That all ties into what ArtsWorcester is all about.
We love being the face of this building, and we love being part of this community. The minute we walked in, you could feel that you were moving to a very special place. And visitors have that experience. When they come in, they understand almost immediately, and you can just tell them what's on the other floors, and even better if you get to show it to them. They understand they've come to this very special microcosm of organizations and people that are devoted to this idea of creativity, innovation, and our artists are the same way. So our artist members, we have right now 500 artists holding an active membership in ArtsWorcester, and all of them have their own practices, all of them have their own approaches, their own ideas, but they're all working together in the same place to move themselves forward. And that, I feel, is a little bit of a mirror image of what the Printers Building does writ large.
Yeah, and it just, the building and kind of the Hanover Theater, the main idea, you've got the Creative Hub. I mean, you just see this kind of energy that's just kind of accelerating, and it feeds off each other. Pop-up,
We're really pleased also to be in a nexus of restaurants and cafes and businesses that are making a go of it downtown, and to be able to support that private industry and investment is key to their success, is key to our success. It works really nicely.
Yeah, and it's a key component to the vision, that a lot of people share, of an 18-hour-a-day kind of downtown that provides a whole list of amenities and opportunities as well. So we're thrilled that both of you could be with us, and we could talk a little bit about the synergy, the energy of business and our arts and culture, and kind of the rethinking and repurposing of now a 5th generation business. So good stuff.
Very much so.
Thank you so much.